Hello all, I am Luke Cuellar and I will be discussing will China be the next global superpower? Just some background information here. In 1971, Deng Xiaoping emerged as the leader of China following the death of Mao. The resulting shift in power within the Communist Party of China led to Deng's emergence, and over the next several years, he would solidify his power in the party and the country. Though, though Jiang was a communist, he also believed that Mao's political stances had hurt China's development economically, politically, and socially. This led to a new set of policies that resulted in a fusion that essentially combined authoritarianism and capitalism. That being, China would stay a one-party authoritarian state, but its economy would be open to capitalism and foreign investments. This also combined with the drive to modernize China's military with modern technological advancements consistent with the emerging information age. With all of this, China's vast economic potential was unleashed. Moving on to the yes side, East versus West. Sorry. In a way, China is currently kind of untouchable. If you impose China with trade tariffs, all they have to do is close off their enormous treasury and send interest rates through the roof towards the West. If you challenge China on disputed islands in the South China Sea, and most countries in Southeast Asia will come to their defense as they are more dependent on China for their economic growth than they are the United States at this point. Another side for the yes argument would be Shanghai. Shanghai was a place that was once drenched in colonialism and has now become the epitome of the Easternization movement. Shanghai now has some of the tallest buildings in Asia. The MSCI indexers have also started to include Shanghai stocks in their biggest emerging market benchmarks, mandating more American money onto the Chinese mainland, China being a microcosm, not China, I'm sorry, Shanghai being a microcosm of China. For the no side, we see the pro-democracy movement. Chinese liberals are fearful of the one-party rule in Beijing. They also view past colonial days as more positive than negative. This is particularly true in Hong Kong, where there are a strong pro-democracy movement that does not want to be controlled by Beijing. We also look at the quote-unquote New Silk Road. The New Silk Road concept, officially dubbed One Belt, One Road, or OBOR for short. Its aim is the extension and consolidation of China's economic and geopolitical influence across Central Asia to Europe by land and within the countries that border the Indian Pacific Ocean by sea. However, in order to achieve this very lofty goal, China needs to experience an economic growth of 6.5 to 7% annually for the foreseeable future, which could very well fail. Moreover, there's no guarantee that the country will be able to seamlessly transition from an export-oriented economy to one fueled by domestic consumption. The documentary that I chose to watch was China, Power, and Prosperity. This explores the rising in China's power as they move to take back their role as a central figure in global politics. A couple of the key things that I took away from it was the US and China trade wars, and from everything that the documentary presented, Chinese business owners and large technology companies don't want the trade war to continue because it just hurts both sides. It stops China's advancement and it hinders us economically. And most Chinese business owners and companies blame Donald Trump as they think, which he is, scared of the booming technology industry in China. Another thing that stood out was China, at least when I was growing up, was always like super polluted, but now they're going green. They are the largest market in the world for electric cars, and they've unified together on the idea of lowering their carbon footprint. In conclusion, my opinion, yes, China will overtake the US in being the world's #1 leading superpower. However, I don't consider that a bad thing. I don't think most people, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but I don't think being #1 is all that important as long as we're doing economically okay, as long as we're prospering. I don't really care who's #1. One of the articles I read was titled "Biden Escalates the Economic War with China." I got this from Forbes. This was in December, this past December. Even though he vowed to take away all the trade tariffs that Trump instilled on China's economy, he has not only kept those tariffs in place, but he has also limited visas and come down very hard on exports, which only hinders not only our economic growth but theirs and sours our relationship even further. So that I'm not even. And the question I would like to propose is, do you feel as though halting China's expansion is the best course of action for the U.S.? That's it.